Yo, what's up guys, welcome to episode 5 of my Road to All Boss Drop series. In the last episode, I asked you guys whether or not you wanted me to change up the rules a bit just because everything was getting a bit stale, mainly because the rules that I already had in place kinda confined me to doing the same bosses. The old rules were I'd have 3 monsters in each stage, and then in order to move on to the next stage, I'd have to get all the unique items from at least 2 of those bosses, and then the one boss that I didn't complete would move on to the next stage along with 2 new bosses. However, we are 4 episodes in and we are still on the first 3 bosses, mainly because I can't get 1 item from Kree'arra and 1 item from Commander Zilyana. I've already completed QBD, and if I remember correctly, I completed QBD on the 2nd episode, and the past 2 episodes have just been all about Commander Zilyana and Kree'arra, and not much has really happened there. So like I said, I asked you guys in the last episode if you wanted me to change up the rules, and the majority of you actually did, so here is what the new rules are going to be. Instead of doing it in stages like stage 1, 2, 3, 4, there's just going to be like 1 main stage, and every time a boss is completed, that boss will be removed from the stage and a new one will be added. So we will always be doing at least 3 bosses throughout each episode, and obviously that makes it a lot more fun for me and a lot more fun for you guys. And in case this is your first time watching, every episode will be around 15 hours worth of bossing, and since there's 3 bosses, I'll be spending 5 hours at each boss, obviously unless we complete the boss, in which case we'll stop doing that boss straight away and then add in a new one. So let's take a look at this. We initially had Kree'arra, Queen Black Dragon and Commander Zilyana. We are 6 out of 7 for Kree'arra and Commander Zilyana, and we have completed the Queen Black Dragon like I said. So the Queen Black Dragon is now gone, and replacing her will be Vindicta. Now I was actually contemplating adding General Grador, however I think we needed a God Wars Dungeon 2 boss in there. Don't want to complete all the God Wars Dungeon 1 bosses straight away, and a lot of you guys actually recommended me to do Vindicta, because obviously there's a lot of money to be made there. Even if you get repeat drops, I mean if you get the Dragon Rider Lance drop twice, you're not going to be complaining, or even if you get the crest twice, you're not going to be complaining either. But with that being said, there's only 3 unique items that you can actually get from Vindicta. There was the Dragon Rider Lance, the Crest of Zaros, and the Zerosian Essence. So just looking at that, you'd think that Vindicta isn't going to be here for long. You'd actually assume that I'm going to be getting some of the items quite quickly, but as we've seen throughout the past few episodes, not everything is as easy as it seems. So Vindicta is the first one that we're going to be going to. Let the 5 hours begin. Okay, so we are done with our first hour and we have not gotten anything. We've gotten more than what you can see in my inventory currently. It's just because I had to bank and I deposited everything by accident. So this is all I have in my inventory for now. And currently, I'm not sure if this is good or not. I think it's like pretty standard. We're currently averaging around 30 to 32 kills per hour. At least that's what we got in that last hour. So hopefully I can keep this up if I don't get too distracted on what I'm watching on the side. And yeah, let's get back in there. I hope we can get a drop soon. To be honest, I just want to kind of get the shit drop out the way, and then we can just look towards getting the Dragon Rider Lance and the Crest. Hey, so there we go. Our first drop comes in the form of a Zerosian Essence. Like I hoped for, we got the shit drop out of the way. Now if we get the Crest and we get the Dragon Rider Lance, we won't be begging just for this Zerosian Essence. So right now we're just begging for the 2 main drops. Oh shit, so we get our first big drop and it's the Crest of Zaros. That could not come at a more perfect time. We're halfway through the 2nd hour, and let me see how much this is worth. This is worth around 18 mil, and not that that matters that much because we're going to be selling this tab when we're done with all the bosses, but that is still a very nice drop to get nonetheless. And even if we get this drop as a repeat now, I'd love it, because like I said, it is 18 mil, so it's a big chunk of money. And yeah, it feels like we're almost done with Vindicta this early on. All we need to get is the Dragon Rider Lance now, and then we'll be done. So hopefully we can finish this off quickly so we can move on to another boss. But obviously I wouldn't mind if I don't get it this episode, just because this is the first episode that I'm doing Vindicta in, and with Commander Zilyana and Kree'arra I've done them in every single episode, so I'd really prefer to finish one of those off first. But for now, just keep the rare drops coming. Wow, so this message just came up as soon as I got a drop, and I thought I got another Crest of Zaros drop. So I've just been trolled by someone else in my world. So unfortunately, we did not get a second one. Oh shit, I did not expect this whatsoever. We got the Glimmering Scale drop, which is the pet. Holy crap, I really didn't expect to get that. We got the dragon. We already have the other Vindicta pet, so now we own both pets. These 3 hours have been insane so far. I really didn't expect to get this lucky. I was hoping for either like 1 Crest or 1 Dragon Rider Lance, but I mean, so far we've already gotten the Essence, the Crest, and now this pet. That is absolutely insane. Oh, so we get our 4th drop of the day, and that is a 2nd Zerosian Essence. Not much to brag about there. I think it's worth around 300k, so it's basically the same as getting some noted Rune Kite shields as a drop here. We are about to move into our last half an hour and we get another Zerosian Essence. The last hour was pretty quiet compared to the other 3, and now we are moving into the final half an hour. Don't really expect to get much more from these 5 hours. I mean, if you can sneak a cheeky Dragon Rider Lance in there, I'd definitely take it. But as of right now, it doesn't look like that's going to happen because we only have half an hour. So we are done with the 5 hours of Vindicta, and like I predicted, we did not get anything else. However, obviously, I am very pleased with what we've gotten so far. I really did not expect to get this lucky within these first 5 hours, but a place where I am overdue luck is at Commander Zilyana. So let's see if we can finally get that offhand Armadillo crossbow within these 5 hours. Hey, we get our first effigy of this episode, and it comes within the first half an hour of doing Commander Zilyana. So there's some nice free Slayer XP. Oh, so we get our first drop of Commander Zilyana, and it's the best one. It's the Sourdoman Hilt. It's not the offhand Armadillo crossbow like we were hoping for, but I mean, it's still a good chunk of 9 mil. I'll gladly take multiple Sourdoman Hilts up until we get one of those. So yeah, it turns out our first drop was a very good one, and it's not one of the amulets like we were getting a lot of in the past episodes. So this is a very good change of pace, and this came in around 1.5 hours into the 5 hours. Oh, I almost got really excited there. We got an Armadillo crossbow literally like 10 minutes after we just got that Sourdoman Hilt. I thought it was the offhand at first, but no, unfortunately, we're still going to have to do some more Commander Zilyana. But still, it's a nice 3.3 mil to add on to the collection. So we were just speaking about amulet drops, and the first one of this episode is going to be a Sourdoman's Whisper. It's actually dropped in price since the last time I did Commander Zilyana. It's only 45k now, so it's going to really suck when we get them now over the other items. Oh, we're just about to finish the 3rd hour and we get another Sourdoman's Hilt. So far we've made a big chunk of money, and like I said before, obviously I don't mind getting more Armadillo Hilts if that means I don't get the offhand Armadillo crossbow. So just keep them coming, keep the Hilts coming. And we get, I believe, our second FG. I usually get quite a few of these from God's Dungeon 1, so it's not a surprise we're starting to get them now. At Kree'arra, I've mentioned, I think in previous episodes, that I usually get quite a lot of them there. So yeah, it's pretty good. Who can complain with some effigies? Okay, so that is it. No more bosses are going to be spawning. That is the end of the 5 hours. The last 2 hours have been really quiet. I mean, the only drop that I've gotten was that effigy. So in general, we really didn't get that many drops from Commander Zilyana as compared to usual. Obviously, we did get those 2 hilts and the Armadillo crossbow, but usually you would just get a bunch of amulets. So I definitely prefer what we got today. But once again, we did not get that offhand Armadillo crossbow. So now it's time to move on to the last boss, which is Kree'arra. And of course, we only need to get the Armadillo hilt from Kree'arra. So fingers crossed, hopefully we can manage to get that within these next 5 hours. And we've just gotten our first Armadillo drop. We get the Armadillo chain skirt. This is within the first 17 minutes of the instance, so really happy we're off to a flying start here. And I know it's another repeat, but I don't mind if I get repeats from Armadillo because they're all worth around 2 to 3 mil each. So even if we don't complete Armadillo within these 5 hours, hopefully we would have made a lot of money. Oh, our second drop of the first hour, and it's the Armadillo gloves. Holy shit, 2 drops within the first hour. I'm extremely happy with that. Hopefully our luck continues. And we get our third drop, and it's another Armadillo chain skirt. Seems like we're getting pretty lucky here at Kree'arra. We're just under 2 hours, so we still have around 3 hours to go. So within those first 2 hours, we got really lucky at Kree'arra. However, for the final 3, we did not get a single unique drop. The only drops that we got were effigies, and I didn't end up recording them just because I thought I was going to just include unique drops. However, I wish I recorded them now because we didn't end up getting any more uniques. So we're currently around 3 hours dry, which is quite rare to be honest. At least for me, in my experience, I usually get at least like 1 drop every couple of hours. But yeah, like I said, the only drops that I got after those 2 hours were effigies, and I got around 6 of them, so I did end up getting a bunch of XP from that. But apart from that, that's pretty much it, so let's take a look at where we stand. For Kree'arra, we have a total of 6 boot drops, 5 Armadillo chain skirts, 6 chest plates, 3 helmets, 6 pairs of gloves, and 2 bucklers. And yet again, we did not get an Armadillo hilt, so Kree'arra is still not completed. Hopefully, we can get that in the next episode. Either that or complete Commander Zilyana, because for Commander Zilyana, the only thing that we need is the offhand Armadillo crossbow. But so far, we have managed to get 4 Sourdoman hilts, 2 main hand Armadillo crossbows, 7 Sourdoman swords, and 4, 10, and 13 of each of the amulets. And then finally, taking a look at what we actually started today, we ended up getting 3 Zerosian essences from Vindicta and 1 crest of Zaros. So the only item that we need to get there is the Dragon Rider Lance. So from each of the 3 bosses that we have remaining, we only need to get 1 unique drop from each of them. Hopefully we can at least finish one of them next week so we can move on to a different boss. But we have been pretty unlucky with getting different types of uniques in the past, so hopefully that unlucky run doesn't continue. And also down below you can see the kill count of each of the monsters. We've killed over 1.4k Kree'arra, we killed 134 Vindicta. I didn't end up keeping doing up my 30 kills per hour. But still, 134 in 5 hours wasn't that bad. I hadn't been to Vindicta in so long, so I'm just like kind of getting used to it again. And for Commander Zilyana, we've killed over 1.9k. But yeah, that is it. That is the end of this episode. Let me know what boss you'd like to see after one of these gets completed. And as always, thank you for watching, subscribe if you're new, and peace!